Hi, welcome to Tough Talk with Tamika. I'm your host, Tamika Hall. I'm your host of this show and the author of Love Doesn't Leave Bruises. I'm really excited to be here with you in our third installment of Tough Talk with Tamika. So today we're going to be talking about textual harassment. When I first heard that term, at first I was looking for my 2-year-old because I thought they said the word sexual harassment and I wanted to get her out of the room. But then when I heard it again, they said it was textual harassment, the harassment that happens from using your phone. I said, you know what? This is clearly a phenomenon. This is something that I talk about when I go around the country, and it's clearly something that needs to be talked about. What's textual harassment? Okay, so I know that everybody has a cell phone nowadays. I mean, you don't even have to have a plan to have a cell phone. You can get a cell phone for as little as $10, put some minutes on it. If you have an extra $10, you can get the internet, you can get unlimited texting. Look, I totally get it, I totally understand. But there is something that is truly on the rise, and it's called textual harassment. And that's when somebody is being harassed or someone's harassing someone else through the phone. Another word for that is cyber stalking. Anything that happens in cyberspace is also a form of harassment. And if it's in a violent relationship, it's a form of dating violence. Okay, textual harassment. Let's put it in the context of an unhealthy relationship. It can be the person that can be doing the harassing can be the abuser. So it could be the boyfriend or the girlfriend that is abusive, and they can also be getting their friends to do it. Okay, so let's say you're involved in that situation right now. Somebody is texting you, and they could be threatening to beat you up. They could be telling you what it is that you can and can't wear. They could be checking on you every few minutes. Where are you? What are you doing? Those are all forms of harassment. And if they have their friends contacting you, Joe Sausagehead, obviously that's not a real person, but Joe Sausagehead says he wants to know where you are. Why haven't you answered his text? Okay? Those are all forms of harassment. It doesn't matter who's doing it. It's always about the intent behind it. And let's talk about something else that's happening. My babies, please, and I'm telling you because I feel like everybody is my child out there, please, do not take pictures of yourself and send it in the form of a text to your boo, okay? Because when boo gets upset with you, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to be circulated to the whole world. And here's the thing. When you text your boo and he chooses to text the people in his phone, I mean, if you think about it, with phones nowadays, you can create a group of at least 10 people, and you can have multiple groups. So I want you to think about how many phone numbers you have in your cell phone right now. I mean, I'm going to tell you for myself, and this isn't even counting my business contacts. This isn't counting the schools that call me to come speak. I'm talking about just my friends and my family. In my phone, I have about 100 phone numbers, okay? That's 10 different groups that I can have, that I can send out a picture to. And if all of them have 100 people, they're sending it out to them. The last thing you want to do is to see your breast or your behind or something else, your whoop whoop. You don't want everybody in the world to see this. You don't want it to end up on YouTube. You don't want it on Facebook or MySpace or all the other spaces that are on there. So you need to keep it in the confines of your space. Don't do it. That's the first way to keep yourself safe. Because once it's out there, there's really no way to stop it. I mean, there's no way to regulate that stuff, okay? You'll know where it started from, but again, once it gets started, you have no way of stopping it. So, on one standpoint, the ball's in your court. You don't have to release images about yourself to anybody else. That's something that should be very sacred, that needs to stay within the confines of your own body and your own space. And two, if you are dealing with people that are texting you and they're harassing you, if they're threatening to beat you up, and I'm going to go ahead and address the whole Facebook issue. If you got things happening on Facebook or MySpace, I've had teenagers that showed me messages where they were being threatened to be beat up, or their boyfriend was saying, if you come to school tomorrow dressed a certain way, I'm going to do such and such. This is how you address that. Number one, you can't keep it to yourself, because you can't handle it by yourself. I know that you feel like the adults, I know you feel like we're old heads, okay? But guess what? We have been there before. And texting and harassing your cell phone, it's just another form of harassment. It's not like it's not anything new. The only thing that's new is the mechanism. It's the fact that it's being used with the cell phone. But harassment has been happening for a lot of years. So guess what? Adults have dealt with it, and you can't deal with it by yourself. So, number one, you really need to find an adult that you trust and show them the text, okay? Number two, don't erase them from your phone. I know if somebody sends you something that is frightening or it's really, really mean, you're gonna wanna erase it. Don't erase it. Try and contact your phone company and get a copy of the text, because now they do that. They can actually send you a printout of all of your texts, okay? Number three, if it's happening on Facebook or on MySpace, print out the sheet, okay? So you just gotta do a screen print. Print it out and keep a record of that stuff, so that when you do, if you do happen to go to the police, you need to go to the police and you know who it's coming from, then they can take action from there. But if you don't have anything to show what's happening, it's gonna be really hard to prove that. So again, what you're gonna do, you're gonna tell an adult, you're gonna keep the text messages, contact the company so that they can give you a printout of the messages so that it shows the number that it's coming from. If it's happening online, you're gonna do a screen print so you can show the actual conversation. And if it takes 10 pages, then it takes 10 pages. It doesn't matter. And those are ways that you can handle that. If you are even thinking about sending out a picture of yourself naked or in your bra and your panties, or for guys in your boxers or your tidy whities, whatever you want to call it, whatever you wear, trust me, I don't care. I don't want to know. Don't do it. Okay? That's the first way to protect yourself, is just don't do it. This has been another episode of Tough Talk with Tamika, and have a safe summer.